The following video was pre-recorded on twitch.tv/codedman9000. More information on the stream times at the end of the video. Previously on Stone to Space.
For the start of Chapter 3, we went to Kerbal Space Program to learn how to make rockets so that we could explore the stars for a new home. We began playing on career mode while not knowing anything about what we were doing. After doing some research off-stream, we then moved to the science mode with newfound knowledge. We went to both moons, created communication networks, planes, science missions, a space station, and then ended the game by traveling all the way to Duna in the Antari ship.
After arriving at Duna, our ship the Antares fell apart, causing us to land on Duna and mine its resources so that we could fix the Antari ship. We unlocked various buildings, and also different types of science. After fixing everything but scanners on the ship, we then left the planet behind us as we continued to travel in space. Hello and welcome to a Twitch Plays Along series called Stone to Space. Today we're in Chapter 3, Space Travel. Today we are playing Oxygen Not Included. It looks like that's all working. I wasn't too sure what would not be working when I changed things around on the computer table. I messed with the monitors a little bit. But anyway, what we were doing in the last stream was cleaning out this area, which we're using balm lilies for something to do with medicine, and I forget what the medicine thing is. We're also almost done with our water sorting system here. Our infinite liquid storage. Just gonna apply that. We just need to do this pipe here, and then we can close this off, and then start closing everything off. Each piece, each opening between the doors is going to be a wall, but we need a way to get all the way over here. Once this is ready to be used, we can put our colder salt water in there. Now, the issue that we may run into is, since this does not have a bypass system like over here, if we run out of power, we will not do anything with salt water. Which means that they could overheat within these pipes before even leaving. But that should allow us to, I want to say hold more salt water, but we're going to be running through it as quickly as we're getting it. So we're not really going to stockpile salt water. We will stockpile polluted water, which is going to be right here on the left side. But salt water we're actually going to be using as quickly as we're receiving it. What else? I did slowly tell them to queue up doing all this. I think that's on a 5. Oh, it's on a 6. So it's slightly more important than things on the normal priority. We have things in here breaking just because we're sending in hot water. When it switches over to clean water, it flashes into pipes and the pipes break. We also ran out of igneous rock at one point, so we were trying to dig out more for igneous rock. We ran out of water at one point, so we started piping water from down here into the colony. But that should also be backed up, kind of. So we're somewhat out of the survival phase. We were also starting to get our food situated here. Now, we should be able to put in the nosh beans now. They just won't grow without the ethanol. Do they take anything else other than ethanol as a fertilizer? It takes dirt. But if it's not growing, does it still need to be replacing dirt into it? Like, I know they're going to have to put dirt into it when they put the seed in. But then, if it doesn't continue growing, did I have to add another 5 kilograms per cycle? Or is it just 5 kilograms until they start growing? And when they stop growing, everything's halted. I think everything gets halted. That's at least what I'm going to hope for. So that's all going to be there. Let me open the photo so I can see again the food. I still don't remember where everything goes. Alright, so this whole room down here is carbon dioxide. We could also try and put the mealwood and mushrooms on this level. It's 3, 6, 9, 12, 14. I'm pretty sure that's this large one here. Yeah, that's 14. This is now we're moving. This is the mushrooms. So if this gets moved over 2, that would go to here. If we move it over again, that would go to here. Then we have more than enough room for 5. We could also put... Actually, no. If I queue this up, and this, as a placeholder for what we're deconstructing, or what's going to be separating the food. That's mealwood. We can actually fit everything in here. With a 1-tile separation between everything. You'll see what I mean once they deconstruct all of this and clean up the water. Where'd that water even come from? That must have been a placeholder from something else. So this whole line and these 2 portions are going to be moved down here. And as far as I know, the only thing that needs a liquid would be the water weeds, which I think needs salt water. Where did the water go? Huh? Did a gas move through here and mess it up? I think a gas moved in this area and messed it up. Anyway, you need salt water, so that's what we're going to be using our salt water for. So once it goes in here, we're going to pipe it out. It's going to be bridged up to here. So this is the priority. Then it's going to be sent out. Now, previously I had it in a different area, which had a longer pipe, so it had a bigger area for it to back up to. I think I might want to place one of these up there. Which would mean moving everything over by a 1 so that I can deconstruct this tile. So we're going to put this right here in the corner so that salt water can be in it. Then it has the 3 sweet water weeds. Saw something pop up. I don't know what happened. Ah. Automated message. Water weeds, then mushrooms, and then mealwood. Now they're not going to do that anytime soon. They should be doing this. I'm not sure why they're not doing that. Let's take off these. Maybe it's a seed issue. And this I can put to have... Sleetweed's probably an ingredient, isn't it? And I saw that it said we had the new food. I paused for a second. Stuffed berry. Spicy tofu. We're going to be making that at some point. What else? Mushroom wrap. I don't think we made a mushroom wrap yet because we don't have... lettuce, that's the word. Can't queue that up because we don't have everything unlocked for it. Okay, so that should be able to pick up anything that we make between it. I only noticed it because over here. But I'm guessing that nosh bean is an ingredient. I'm going to take that off for the moment. Because we need to first prioritize using that over here. Oh, they actually are bringing over a nosh bean. Look at that. I am surprised. Let's sweep that little bit of salt water. All I have to do now is this pipe. Now I also put ladders down here so that I can get the pipes on the bottom level. Because they're kind of out of the way. Everything is on a 7. Is there anything else that just should be a high priority? What happened here? Oh, they dug out stuff too early. Is this igneous rock over here? It is, so we do want to get to that. I will just go like this and put a single ladder right there. Put that on a 7 so that we can actually build everything. Now, we were also attempting to get this all set up, And a big thing that we're waiting on is water. They're not really putting water where it needs to go. So if I just go like this, we will sweep all of that out over some time. They almost got this whole area cleared out. I am surprised. What kind of fertilizer do you take? Just the air. And the amount of air in here. Now this is not connected to power yet. Do I just go straight across, or do I go to the ladder height? I think I'm gonna stick with the ladder. So I just go like that. If I actually had made this one tile up, this may have looked a little bit better. Alright, so now that we have balm lilies growing, and we actually have a few of it, let's do this regular blueprint. We're still looking for a new decorator. And then we go up to here. One of these requires a balm lily. That's blossom seed. We can do allergy medication now. And it looks like the balm lily is the medical pack. That also takes some fertilizer. Hello, little one. I'm gonna come lay down. Or are you gonna get back up on the desk and start playing? What are you doing? Yep, going straight over to the monitor to look. Can I have you this way? Oh, that was stuff I don't want to drop. I'm waiting for them to do one of these just so that I can put the storage thing on it. It looks like this one's going to be done first. Maybe not. Are you focused on the batteries? Did you finish the medicine? Is that allergy medication? It is! Look at that. Medicine, allergy. We shouldn't have to move it. If you're gonna play with the screen, I'm gonna blow some air on your face. Why aren't you putting it in here? Someone else picking it up? That's a bunch of people who are taking the allergy medication. I didn't know we had anyone with allergies. Do they normally take the medication if they don't have allergies? I feel like they don't usually do that. How come they didn't finish this up here yet? Sorry if that was loud, chat. What are you doing? Are you gonna sit on the keyboard? Nope, okay. I would rather them do this first. We're gonna have to wait until medpack shows up on the right side. They didn't do the deconstruct over here, but they did pick up a bog jelly for something. They did, in fact, finish this area. I don't know why there's still debris in here. I could have sworn we swept everything out. But now we have to wait until that's taken out before we can close it off. Maybe I canceled the sweep command? I don't know. And this is using power again? Oh, because this is all broken. We really need to get this over with and fixed. Like something scratching my nose. Alright. What are they focusing on? This should be on a 5. Which it is, so they shouldn't be focusing on that. We have some sweep commands over here, that's fine. It looks like they may be dropping a bunch of things down here. There's Joya Seed! We didn't fill this in. That's on a 5. So we're kind of getting to the point where everything is a normal priority. Unless it's related to breathing. What did you just come over here for? Igneous, there's igneous rock still over here. Wow, thought we got it all out. Anyway, we're sweeping that out. We're waiting on water to go to certain places, along with oil to go to certain places. Gina was just a few seconds too late. Why is there other gases in here? Why is there oxygen in here? When the pipes were breaking way back when. That makes sense. You know what? I'm gonna do the easy way of just doing this whole thing and letting the gas expand upwards and then deleting it all. Now there's carbon dioxide down here. That shouldn't be too much of an issue for us. Salt and sand. Kinda stuck, I don't know what to do. They didn't finish cleaning that out, that's fine actually. Maybe we just wait a little bit and let them sort out their errands. Hi, paintbrush. What you doing? Are you getting sleepy? You are getting sleepy. She just took over my left arm. Asleep at the switch? What does that mean? Was that to something I said earlier? I don't remember. Short-term memory loss. Oh! I'm also a little bit stupid. You know what we could do is actually tell them not to sweep anything that's in range of this. Then we can just tell it to... saying it's pretty old. Yeah. Could tell this auto sweeper to just pick up everything it sees. Now, it won't be able to pick up this liquid. This also has a lot of hydrogen in it again. So we are slowly getting this whole area cleaned out. Let's actually turn this back on. And get some of this hydrogen out of here. It's going to back up at some point. It already has. So we'll leave that on and occasionally check on it. They did build this in very quickly. Oh, that's because I put on a 7. That makes sense. It looks like they are cleaning this out very quickly. You know what? I'm gonna put this on an 8 and this on an 8. And this on a 9. This on a 9. So that we get them sorted out quicker. Oil's way over here. They have a pump that they can get stuff from. So it shouldn't take them too long to do the oil itself, since it's not that far away. Are they still adding dirt to this? Oh, they might have been grabbing the salt water from right here. I did see that they dropped off a little bit of oil, which is great. This is now a vacuum. Not a vacuum. I do want to build this in so that we can get rid of the gas that's right here. But now we can turn this on a 5 and build that in. I don't know why I didn't tell them to build that in, because it wasn't connected. So it's not like they could have added power to it. That's built in, so let's do this whole level. Cancel this. Priority 7, all of that. Now this is another place we should be starting to worry about with steel. So I think I'm going to start saving up so that we can add all of our steam turbines in here. Still didn't finish that yet. They did finish over here. So we should be getting quicker on stuff. Allergy medication is right there for some reason. We can clear that. We don't need that anymore. They are doing the polluted water inside the base, so that's getting cleaned out. Surprised they didn't do any of this first. They're going to like a further away from the door system. Welcome in, Raiders! Hello, Cloud Cover. For those that don't know me, my name is Coded. On this channel, we play all of my games in a specific order to show a story of mankind's progression through technology. We're in our third portion of the story, where we're doing games involving space travel, which is why we're doing Oxygen Not Included. Occasionally there will be polls. We should actually do a prediction right now to celebrate you guys rating in. So in this here, for those that don't know, Oxygen Not Included, we can get a random item when we press print. And the prediction that you guys are going to be able to do is to predict if it's going to be a piece of clothing, a building, decoration, or a wallpaper. You guys have 10 minutes to decide if you want to try and do that. Cloud Cover and Raiders, also, feel free to lurk. And, I think that's pretty much it. So how are you, Cloud Cover? Were you playing more D&D? Or something else? Good, they took out that debris. Welcome in, Regus! I was trying some stuff and setting up some stuff, and I was doing that. We are actually going to be talking a little bit later, everyone in chat if they want to, on upgrading my setup. Paintbrush, let me move my arm for you. Paintbrush is currently on my lap, using my arm as a pillow. And I feel like I'm crushing your paw. Can I have this? That might be more comfortable for you. You miss a spot cloud? I've seen that dragon. You're painting a mini stream. What do you mean by a mini stream? Let's place this here. We also had to put all of our water empty things on an 8 so that they're done, because it seems like we're just not getting our stuff done. A miniature on stream. Oh, I just misunderstood the words. That makes sense. I thought you meant like you were resetting up your background or something by painting a stream. They still have nosh meats here somehow. We are going to come over here and do cooking ingredient. And pinch of pepper nut. Now this shouldn't be on a sweep only. But that now allows us to put nosh beans in here. So we can use that. Let's do another regular... a decorator. Can't do building errands. I know the statue isn't a building errand, but is the painting a painting an errand? Does anyone notice? It was the largest mini oxymoron I've painted. Leave him alone, he's trying his best. You don't know. We could go bother Willow, who's not playing Oxygen Included. I say that jokingly, don't actually go do that. We're gonna take this decorator because I feel like it's a good person. They won't be able to build the actual statue block or put the painting on the wall, but they should be able to decorate the two things. Plus they also come with an extra skill. Can I ask a streaming question? I can't speak. To answer your question, Clockcover, yes. So this is our last duplicate. That is Ellie. Ellie, why is there polluted water there? Ellie sleeps right here now. And eats right here. They can paint and carve them, but they can't build the blank ones, I think. That's what I'm hoping for. Now, we did get rid of our skill scrubber before we had our last duplicate, so I need to find a spot that we can fit it in. I think we'll put it up here because I can just tie it into our main power. That would be base, I think. No, it's stations, isn't it? Don't know why a skill scrubber is a station. Am I allowed to have emotes now, but I can use them on your stream? You can use your emotes on any stream, but you can't use somebody else's emotes unless you're subscribed to them. So I can use this channel's emotes on anything, but anyone who's not subscribed to me cannot do so. We'll put that on a 7 because we need to get that skill off of Ellie. Why are they not showing up for you in the emote window? You may hold on. You know what, I'm gonna leave you guys looking at this while they do different tasks. But I'm gonna go over to Willow's channel and attempt to put an emote in her chat from our channel. Yeah, I have my stuff here. You may have to scroll down. It may not be in a good order. Is this alphabetical? Okay, so the emotes should be alphabetical except for whatever streamer you are currently watching. They're always at the top underneath what you frequently use. Just added them today. Have they been approved? You might have to check to make sure that they were approved, because if you made an emote, they don't always go through right away. Two of them have not. They should be the only two that you can't use then. So I don't know. I don't know, Cloud Cover. And if they can get all of this out, it may take a little while for... Yeah, that's true, Regus, but he has others, and there's only two that are not approved. Not showing up on the side either. Let me open up my web browser for my own emotes and see if there's like a button I had to press. No, I do not have anything odd going on. I don't know, Clock Cover. I don't see anything on here that would say, you know, like turn on emotes or something. When I first started making emotes, it would take a few days for them to be approved. That's true. My animated emotes took quite a while for them to get approved. Please kill that slug. I told them to move that egg a while ago. You eat, right? Yeah, they do eat, okay. I don't want them eating the cobalt ore. We need that. Alright, so this got rid of the carbon dioxide. We can deconstruct those. We then should probably get rid of all of this water. How would I do so? They can jump down to here and then go back up. Let me wait until this water drains into here, because I need to know if we need even more water. How's the oil? Oil is not really being done. And this is actually fine. So let's deconstruct that. We'll also deconstruct this. Get all that polluted water out of here and then refill it with regular water. It looks like it's actually going to make a liquid lock, just because there's a little bit of water above the polluted water. So I guess I can tell them to start prioritizing building that. And they got everything out of there, so now we can actually close up the first thing. Let's first lock the door. You don't need to lock the doors when you're doing this the way that I am, by putting blocks all around them. I'm just doing it so that they are all the same. right, we needed igneous rocks so that we can connect these all in. You are gonna go right here. This one's gonna come down and then go over. I can get it to be a straight line. Bring you into there. Bring this into here. And once we build this one pipe, that should mean that polluted water is all connected in. Or salt water, I mean. Now, the actual polluted water that I was just talking about is going to go like this. It's going to go up this way and then get pumped right back out. So this is going to fill up with the extra polluted water we don't use over time. And that's the only reason why it's going up and then back. Okay, don't know if we need anything else aside from that. Let's get this all connected in by going like that. And I think we'll wait a little bit longer. They are getting their tasks done now that I'm allowing them to take a breath. Is this polluted water? It is. And they turned on the pump. Now I thought this was going to be clean water. So that's on me. We also took away the pipe, so that won't be in there. Why did the regular water come out? I want all of that done. We're going to need to deconstruct all of that so that we can put a pump over here to get the water in. Oil's not really getting done. And it's on 8, so I don't know why it's not getting done. I can't put this on a higher priority. I can only tell it to turn off. Alright, good. They're deconstructing all that. That means they can't get in here anymore. Wait, they did just get in there. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Not sure. This should hopefully get rid of that carbon dioxide. Oh, and they cleaned out this entire area. Now, can I just pick this up? Put on a 7. I also want to clean out this area. Water 8, enable. Oh, it's not an auto bottle. They were only putting in the oil that was just laying on the floor. That makes sense. And why aren't you being taken out? I'm not even using the emptier. Did they finish cleaning out the base? They did not. There's still some polluted water on the bottom. They did get the base pretty cleaned up, though. We still haven't made this yet. I'm not sure why. They should have both things in it. They do. So I don't know what's going on there. Oh, now they're coming for the salt water. Good. Let's build this in. Put that on a 7 so that I do it quickly. And this is for the one that we're probably not going to end up using. But for a very late game. Where did the carbon dioxide go? It didn't go anywhere. So now that this is a liquid lock, we can go like this and get some of this chlorine into here. It'll stay backed up right here. So now we're getting a look into how this is going to be set up in the future. Now, another thing I want to get rid of is all of this polluted oxygen that's in here. So I think the easiest way would be to just deconstruct the 2 corner pieces here. And then the chlorine should push it all out. Then we can just build back in the little piece. Because this should get vacuumed out very quickly. Milligrams, that's regular gram. Now it's milligrams. We're still adding more water, so this should get pushed over easy, even more. We're gonna wait until this is a full liquid lock before we destroy this portion. So it's gonna stay in a vacuumed out area for a little while. The oil should be getting filled in now. It is. It's a lot larger than, or there's more in it than there was before. Alright, they did that. Lock this door, please. Where does ethanol go again? I had the picture up, and where did it go? Ethanol is the 3rd option here. So once we lock this door, we can start putting ethanol in here. We won't have the settings for these for a while. That's fine. Are you going in there to lock it? You were, and then you chose not to. Alright, another 200 kilograms are coming up here. So it should get to 600 something. Almost 700, wow. That should be filled in with the next 2 bottles. They're still doing the stuff over here, which is great. I think this only needs maybe 1 or 2 more bottles as well. Then we can start doing this. So in here, this has to be filled with 4 tiles worth of water. Alright, this does not seem like it's getting pushed up. Although it is, because it's a lot more chlorine over here than it is over on this side. Alright, that's slowly getting done. This needs 1 more bottle, like I assumed. They're probably coming down here to give that water to this portion. Hopefully they have a full bottle. Doesn't look like they do. So yeah, that didn't do much for us. Looks like Willow and Regis are working together to do all this stuff. They can get to these 2 from this ladder, and then this one should be able to get from there. So they should be able to do all of it. They did lock the next door, so let's do this lock. Good luck, Gino, catching the elephant. Now I know we're waiting for steel. Do I do all of these floor tiles? Or do I save the steel for the things that we're actually going to need steel for? I'm not sure, but let's do gold amalgam. And we have not done the first prediction yet. So, in case anyone is still here from the raid, which I think it was just Cloud Cover and Regas, we have 500 points in clothing, 1,000 points in buildings, 1,100 in decorations, and 30 points in wallpaper. So I am now rooting for whoever did wallpaper. It's clothing, and I've never seen an outfit like this before. So congratulations on the people in clothing. Who did it? Who won? Regas, congratulations on winning 2,100 points. And because we're only doing 2.5 hours of streaming today because of work, we're going to immediately start the next prediction. So you have a chance to win back your points. Rigast. Are they still cleaning out the base? They are. There was more bottles over here than there is now. They still didn't do this one thing, though. None of that's on a higher priority, so I don't know what they're going off of to choose. Alright, let's dig out a little bit more over here. Gonna be like that, and then I want to add ladders wherever it allows me to. Deconstruct that. Dig all of that out. Over here, we're gonna add even more ladders. We don't need to add ladders there. Wait for the autosave. Then if I did this correctly, all the oil should stay in here, I hope. They'll do that eventually. Did they finish everything up here? They did, look at that. So we can queue up them to dig out the rest of this. That will release a lot of salt water down. If this is the ladder that we need, let's continue it all the way over. And then I guess also go upwards. We're gonna do that right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't really need to go to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take this and all of that. And that one thing of granite. Now let's get this little bit of phosphorite as well. So they should do this over time. I'm going to dig that portion out just so it's 4 tiles high. And deconstruct you and you. Alright, that's a lot of stuff for them to do right now. We are still slowly making steel. Should probably try and connect this together. So I just go like that and then straight down. That uses all of our igneous rock, which we are already queued up to dig out more. They did another door, so let's build this in. And we could tell them to dig this out as well. Well, actually, we have to because it can't get to that pipe. Then I guess we might as well tell them to dig this out as also. We got Willow coming down here. What you doing, pretty girl? She moved over. Lock the next door. Oil has too much, actually. So we'll just deconstruct that. Over here has enough water, we can stop them. Looks like they were just about to bring over another one. Which also means that we can deconstruct this, and this, and that one pipe. And then this could actually right now be piped into where it's going to end up staying. So what I think I'm going to do, since I'm pretty sure this is polluted oxygen right there. I can't see that far down in my picture. Actually, if I go to the old picture, I might be able to see it in this old picture. That is the polluted oxygen, okay. So I could just keep going straight over and then go up. I think that's what I'm going to do. Well, I don't have igneous. I do have igneous rock. What is this being made out of? Why do we have so much all of a sudden? Oh, they dug this out. That makes sense. Right, back in here. This isn't going to get done right away, but we're going to go straight over. That's not straight at all. Go straight to the left like this. I'm gonna go straight down until I figure out where this needs to connect in. That's how that pipe's gonna go. We also need to build this back over. Our chlorine has gone up to this point, so we can block that in as well. We'll do that soon, but not right now. First thing I want to do is right here. We are close to having all the steel that we need for this area, so I'm going to wait for that. Let's put in all of our automation. And also our power stuff. So we need a steam turbine. Put that right there. Also, just add this here. No, we're not. We need a transformer in here. What if I take this up and around and to here? Then we can put the transformer here if we flip it. Just so I don't have to use anything steel related in this area. Now this is technically a liquid lock, but it has polluted water in it. Cancel that sweep. Now we have a regular water thing here. We're gonna need to extend our power line. Connect you straight in. Alright, that is a bunch of stuff within the build. Should probably queue up another line of stuff to be dug out. This should be a volcano. Why can't they get over here? They can, they just haven't built that yet. Okay. Prioritize this so that we can continue digging downwards. I am also going to add a ladder here when I have igneous rock. There we go, we can dig out the rest of that. I'm going to dig right here. That wasn't enough? There we go, now it was. We'll go straight down. Paintbrush is slowly falling off. Do I have something I can put here? Don't know. Are you gonna get up? She got up and moved. Save paintbrush at all costs. I was thinking about it. I had a little pillow. Oh, I put it away. I can see it now in the other corner of the room. I had a little throw pillow that I was using over here because it's small. And it won't, like, get in the way of me playing games. But I guess she didn't want to lay against it, and I put it back where it was. She got up and laid on the blanket like Tori used to. Let me just move for a second. This is the blanket she was laying on. So now I cross my legs in case she wants to come and lay back on my lap again. She has a place to actually lay. Because when she lays on my lap, she's not laying like long ways down my leg. She's laying across my leg. So she slides off occasionally. That would be a ladder run here. We don't need it right there. We do need that one. We're gonna attempt to get in here and block this in and destroy everything. So if I just go like this for now, that'll be a placeholder. If I do all that, we should be able to keep going. That is not a lot, so we definitely do need to prioritize. That's deconstruct. But that did put it on a priority. We do need to prioritize doing this and digging out the rest of that. That's a lot of igneous rock. And we have another oil balance. We are very... This should be sulfur. I didn't realize we were that close to the sulfur. We could have came down here immediately. Also went over to our other asteroid and stuff like that. So if they do this first, they'll be able to dig out more igneous rock. We can do this as well. I think I should queue up all the ladders across here. Because getting the chlorine up here is going to be important later when we do squeaky puffs. this might be the last bottle in there. So I'm gonna put this on an 8. Because that definitely is done now that I'm seeing it. We're gonna need to do this again. Up there, high pressure. Power, we're just gonna connect it into this for right now. That should be it once everything gets built over here. And this just needs 400 kilograms of water in each tile. Alright, it did prioritize all of that. That's awesome. We do have a lot of igneous rock. I'm going to tell them to high prioritize... You know what, first, let's do this. I'm telling them to high prioritize all of that. I'm also going to need to take a look at the conveyor rails to get over there. Does the old photos of the conveyor rails cover the entire base? When I did the first colony on this asteroid, I did take pictures of the entire asteroid, how it looked. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to see conveyor rails in this photo. I see conveyor rails leaving this going straight over, but I don't see it from... Oh, that doesn't have automation at all. Alright, what comes out of here? Should be just bomb lilies and seeds, right? Yeah. So if we go straight over, we can go up into here. Wait a second, why do we have... We have 2 sets of going up. I'm not sure why. We'll grab a little bit of salt water there. Should probably check in on our liquid storages, which did get a little bit further. So let's lock this door. They did finish this immediately. That was very quickly done compared to how they usually do. We didn't do these yet. Let's block them in. Make sure that no polluted oxygen gets in and no chlorine gets out. I should have put oil right there. All right, you know what? If I go into here, I can look at the conveyor line here. So the belt on the right going up goes past the dirty brick. The one next to it is for sulfur, which is why it goes straight into here and gets priority because it's a food source. The other one, I guess, is just my all-purpose connect everything in route. So we want to go into the one on the right. How do we take these out? I'm going to tell it to go straight down and then over and deconstruct all of this. We do have enough steel to do one of the 2 aquatuners we're trying to complete. Let's do this one. I also need to put in the pipe, so that means we need more aluminum than we probably have. Let's do this way. That will go over here. Do we need to snake it back and forth? So we could go like this. That's what we're gonna do. That in there, that does make this a little bit difficult to get water back in though. So I think I am going to snake it. We'll go like this. And I want this portion to be not aluminum. Get that over also here and here. Cancel everything in between. That should give us the aluminum. We have a tiny bit of aluminum left over. We're also going to need one of these bridges right here. Okay, what else should we have them prioritize? We have quite a bit of, not carbon, igneous rock. We don't have a lot of cobalt ore, so we would have to dig out more in order for us to finish doing the conveyor rail. Continue over here. That is saying no power. That's because this is broken off. That was because we were trying to figure out why it was overdoing stuff. And it was just to the fact that our automation was in the wrong spot. So we fixed that a while ago and I forgot to change it. Just saw something change and I don't know what it was. I think the next thing we will prioritize is really this whole area over here. We'll get them to finish all that. How much is in here? 240. Okay. Now this is going to be blocked in at some point in the future. If I start bringing oil over here, how much of a mess am I going to make? I don't want to take out this area. Now they can also get down. We'll also carefully dig over to here where we can dig this area. And we'll have to do a delete system to get rid of the zombie spores so we don't release them all in the air. There's surprisingly slime lung in the carbon dioxide over here. Creep that bleach stone up, hopefully try to get it to stop off-gassing. We did put this in, that's true. Down here, let's put in more stuff. So our water weeds are the only thing that requires water. So we will put them right here. One, two, three, four, five, six. And that's going to be replaced with irregular tiles. So if I go into food, we grab farm tile. That's all that. This is cobalt ore like it should be. That'll be that and that. Let's also sweep everything up. I don't want to prioritize that area just yet until we get this completed. Now I should probably put on an even higher priority the air stuff so we can get that taken care of. Although that's not going to do anything until we have power situated. So I'm going to go like this and that. There is stuff mixed in that's not power related in those 7s, but they should be able to get that done. I'm pretty sure this hydrogen vent is dormant. For another 35 cycles almost. So we're not going to get much use out of this hydrogen vent right away. We do have this ready. So let's deconstruct all of this. This is just to get rid of the few things of air that are in here. We are going to release a lot of steam by doing this. We do have some time to try and get this carbon dioxide out of here before the volcano erupts and melts everything. So we'll deconstruct this and hope that the carbon dioxide falls down. That's on the correct priority. I was wondering why it was a 9, but then I realized if that breaks, then we have no way of getting water out of here. Oh, and we ran out down here, didn't we? No, we just completely backed up with oil. Wow. Alright, let's go like this and hope that that's enough. Right, they're still bringing stuff over. That should kick on eventually. How much water's in here? Still 240. They haven't brought over another bottle yet, but that's because we've been high prioritizing more stuff. Was that enough to get all of this stuff moving over? Doesn't seem like it. What if I not deconstruct, dig out more stuff as far as they can reach? So right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 tiles, 3, 4 would be there. Should be able to do all of that. I'm not sure if they can. There's a Tyranitar in chat if anyone wants a T-Rex. Oh wait, that's not Tyranitar. Or a T-Rex. That's a Godzilla-like thing. I was thinking of Tyrantrum. once we're done with this area, we do still have this oil biome, and this one's a lot larger. Should probably start getting in here to get this cobalt ore. There's also igneous rock right there. If I were to try and get in here, we could pretty much dig all the way over. Especially if we start like this. No. We want to start here. Can we just keep going? Ooh, we can. Look at that. I will go to here, dig that out. Actually, that's stuff that's gonna fall down. Let's cancel that. Cancel this. That's gonna make it so I can't get out still. I'm trying to avoid using ladders. I don't think it's working out for me. We're gonna have to use ladders for this area here to get this cobalt. This also gets us in here where we should be able to dig out a majority of this. We're gonna need some ladders right here. Dig that out, dig this out. Then we work our way down here. That's 4, so I need ladders here. Which means the furthest I can go is here. Alright, that should get us pretty close to getting all the cobalt we need. We're getting this vacuumed out now, awesome. Let's do this pod. Joyous Seeds. They did do the skill scrubber, so we need someone that starts with an E. Ellie. Let's also look at her skills. I'm pretty sure Ellie's the only one that has a skill. Sophie should be done. Yep. Everyone else is done. We're only focusing on Ellie being our newest dupe. Let's focus on this again. Lock that door. We're almost there, chat, to being able to use this. We are going to have that enable auto bottle. Should probably have that on all of them. This is water. That's going to be enable auto bottle. This is not going to be, because that's going to be petroleum. We don't want to keep pulling petroleum in there. No, don't lock it from inside. Okay, that is done, so that means this can be on ethanol right now. Alright, they came down here and got that cobalt, so now we have to put a ladder over here. How are they doing in here? Milligrams. Still 240 kilograms. Alright, we also have 400 steel, now almost 500. They still haven't deconstructed this one tile. I want that done before this erupts in 10 cycles. Just watching to make sure that Willow does all the ladders we want. Why didn't you finish off these two? So that we can get all this stuff done. This is more important than that. Alright, this is probably on priority 6, and that's why they're not doing it. I just go through here. We do need to put pipes going down. We're also going to need a way to put water in here, so let's do bottle drainer, a bridge, and that should mean that this is all connected in. We just need this one pipe, and then this can start running. And this is already a vacuum, look at that. So I can start coming in here and deconstructing everything that we don't need. You need to be above... That's not what we wanted. Did they deconstruct that tile? They did. Carbon dioxide did not leave yet. They haven't deconstructed anything up there either. Come on, make it all the way over to the right. We'll check in a couple more cycles. We do have our prediction up and ready. So we have 1,500 points in clothing, 1,100 points in buildings, a whole 10 points in decorations. It even says that there is 0% in that poll. There's also 30 points in wallpaper. So let's see, with the new autosave going, do we have decorations? Clothing again! Congratulations to the person that chose clothing. Complete. There we go. Who did it? Who was the lucky one? Oh, it's to both Cloud Cover and Regus. Congratulations on winning about 2,600 points between the two of you. Always bet on pants. Mr. Rusty coming in to say it's rigged. Regus, do you mean? We can also deconstruct this. Now that is bringing in the hydrogen, which is honestly relatively cold. So we're probably not going to use that right away. The moment it gets over here, it is going to start backfilling into here. This doesn't have any hydrogen. Is there any still in the base? There's some packets, so we'll leave this here. I'm going to turn that off. We don't need to keep using it. And now we have a way of getting hydrogen throughout the base without having to get it from the spawn. And then this is going to always have a full packet of hydrogen going through here until we run out of the excess hydrogen from the geyser or from the vent. I'm just waiting to see it fill in all the generators to make sure that I am supplying enough. That's 200. Okay, so this should be 100 in a little bit. Yep, and then this probably isn't going to ever become filled with hydrogen. If I look at this, that is exactly 10 generators. Each one uses 100 grams of hydrogen, so when you do 10 generators, you use one full pipe. This will back up if we produce enough battery power. But I doubt that we're getting close enough to do that. Alright, this is not on an 8. Alright, ooh, I forgot. This wasn't even set up yet. Okay. Crude oil, enable, 8. Alright, what's next? Probably in here. Priority that, priority this. That's an easy thing to finish. What is all this? There's random pipes that weren't finished yet. I also want to... They're getting through this eventually. I want to prioritize everything that's in here. We still don't need chlorine up here yet, so I'm not worried about this area just yet. We will need to figure out how we're going to get these conveyor rail all the way over there, though. How far can I go with this? Pretty far, actually. So it needs to go one more tile and then up. That's that whole conveyor rail system. Why are they not doing those two? It's bothering me. They can reach those 2 tiles. That's 200 kilograms of steel for some reason just sitting there. Alright, they did put in all the water, it seems. That got filled up very quickly. I am surprised. This got a little bit of water in it, but not a full thing of it. We need... Go in here and grab one of these and put that on. Alright, how low does this go below 300? I think maybe one more bottle? Maybe 2 bottles? And that should be done. Did the carbon dioxide fall down yet? No, it did not. Okay, so what we're going to do instead, we're going to build this back in. That's teasing me. And we're going to deconstruct this one tile here. That was made out of obsidian. That's made out of obsidian, so I need to make sure that this isn't made out of igneous rock or else it's gonna melt. They still haven't deconstructed any of this, and it's starting to bother me. They haven't deconstructed anything. Okay, they did just do all of this. Oh, they did this too. So if I dig that out, are they going to be able to take this out? I don't know if they can dig diagonally. Since we only have about a half hour left, let's do our third prediction. So the top left corner is that blue product going to be clothing, buildings, decorations, or wallpaper. You have 10 minutes to vote. I am thinking about adding a fifth option of it being tops or bottoms, but I haven't decided if I'm actually going to do it or not. I do have this queued up to be dug. That doesn't mean that it's going to be destroyed, or actually dug out. So I am curious to see how that goes, because all that carbon dioxide is going to be pulling in here. Who got trapped? Why are you trapped? Because of this. You're okay, Gino. You just got stuck for a little bit. Gino's still making their way over here to get all this cobalt. We're closer to this oil biome, so I think we'll start doing the ladder over here for this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4. That's as far as we can see for right now. That's actually the whole biome. And that surprises me a little bit. Let's cancel that. Dig all of that. I'm gonna add the ladders in for this entire area while we have the igneous rock. That way they won't be used for something else when we need to get down here. That should be it. Alright, what's being done? Or what isn't being done, I should say. Now the carbon dioxide is moved, so we can put this back in. That still hasn't been deconstructed yet. This stuff somewhat has been. And since I'm being annoyed by it, I'm going to do a high priority on it. This now has a little too much water in it. I'm going to let them drain this bottle. And then deconstruct it. Why are they taking so long to dig that out? Alright, we now need to just sweep this up, put in that atmos sensor, or thermo sensor, I mean. And then this is all done. We didn't put a thing in here for stopping this from vacuuming it out completely. So I do need to get in here once this is all vacuumed out. And it's at micrograms, so it shouldn't take too long. Especially since this is dormant for another 30 cycles. Now this can be anything above 25. Alright, we're at micrograms. I think we already knew we're at micrograms, but we're under 200 micrograms now. And they're now starting to deconstruct everything up here so we can get rid of this gas that we don't want. We can do the same thing down here for this carbon dioxide, but I'm going to actually... We can do this very easily. I'm going to do a few pockets for this to fall in. Just in case it moves. If I do that, and then we put that on a high priority. I'll put this on a high priority as well. We'll do another regular pod. I'll take the Shine Nymph. This is further being done. This is almost ready to be used. Let's take a look out of our pipes. I want really to get rid of this. I can't do the polluted water until this is done. Have we even gotten this geyser to go off yet? 2 cycles. Okay, that makes sense. Right, now with that, we can deconstruct those 2 tiles. The carbon dioxide can hopefully fall into those. This area is done. And what I'm gonna do is just go like this. And yes, we are going to release a bunch of steam to the outside area, but there shouldn't be anything outside for us to, you know, damage. Now let's sweep all that up. And as long as the oxygen doesn't go down 3 tiles as we build that tile in, we should be fine. We did lock that up. We can lock this now too. We can start this on salt water. And now we get to turn this all on. First step, break this off. And hope that nothing goes wrong. While it's going, I'm going to queue this up to be deconstructed. Because we can now take a moment to go like this, and like that. Oh, no, wait, we don't want to actually start that yet. Because we still need to get through this. But now if I do this correctly, we can watch these all turn on and use all of our power. So the water is going in right now at 94 degrees, and it should come out in a reasonable temperature of 24 degrees. Then it's going to go down in here, where it should be relatively cold. It is actually quite warm. So it's going to raise in temperature a little bit, but once we build these in, this should cool down just by the temperature of the water. And now all of this salt water is coming in through here. We did dig enough up here to allow the polluted water to get picked up again. So we have this backed up and ready. Is this a power issue over here? It is indeed a power issue. You know what? I'm gonna bite the bullet on all of this steel. So I want one there. Because if I get 2 more things of steel, we can build in the last 2 tiles. Good job, Leo, on dropping off everything else. Let's take a look at Ellie. Ellie now has 3 skill points, so we can get her all the way into Masterworks. We only need 2 more skill points for them. But now we can deconstruct this all over again. Okay, they built that in, so let's lock this. We should see that this is getting cold quickly. The rest should do the same later on. Don't do it from inside, Amy. You should know better. Do it from outside. Amy. Amy. Don't do it in the door. I already know what's gonna happen. Amy. It actually didn't lock you in. Okay. I am surprised. This is going to be polluted water. And we can now queue this together. So that should come down, go up and over. Once we get the geyser going, next cycle. Well, almost one cycle. It'll be at the end of the next day. We also have all the steel we need to finish this going. So there you go. This whole room will be done once they build all the stuff. They're starting to do the food stuff now. It's all coming together. So now, once this nice cold salt water gets incorporated, which it is now, we should never break the pipes again. Alright, this is a vacuum, so I'm going to deconstruct these two tiles and hope that this stays dormant long enough. It's 30 cycles. We're definitely going to get through this. I'll put all that on a 7 so that they do it quickly. We can also deconstruct all this. Put that on a 6 so that they do it sometime soon. And what I'm gonna do is relocate this to here so that it doesn't get pushed in if they don't use it, and so that we can sweep it up if we also don't use it. I have a feeling they might use it, but at the same time they could use something else to build that back in. So now this should be anything above 500. 500 is just a number I pull off the top of my head. There's no real reason to do 500 kilograms. It's just what I prefer to use. Amy's now coming over here to move this over. Now that they have moved it over, we'll move that back in. Oh, it's the only aluminum we have! So they're probably going to use this anyway. Hopefully they don't use the little bit of aluminum that's in here. Now we did release all of this steam, which means that everything is getting superheated right now. Nothing should be getting hurt by it, though. This stuff might get hurt by it. But we do have cooling up here. So if anything, we're turning on this aqua tuner in a little bit. It's already starting to turn into rain. Alright, I put this on a high priority. I did not. So that's actually not getting much colder as it would if this was built. While they're also doing that, I'm going to tell them to do this as well, because we want to get through our food. This will get done eventually. They did pick up aluminum from somewhere else. Alright, we'll have to sweep that up. This is not on a high priority, but it should have been. They do still deliver dirt over time. And we do have some oil over here. I'm going to deconstruct this tile and hope that the oil will push all this water over. I'm going to tell them to stop bringing oil over, just in case they were. Now, this area is very hot. We're going to have to spend some time cooling it down. Mop that up. Alright, that should mean that this is now getting cooled down once liquid gets in here. Unless the liquid is going in hotter than it is in here. That's 48. Good luck, Gino, catching the heart fish. Why does that have an icon of something else being built over it? It's weird. Alright, now the last things we have are bristle blossoms, pinch of pepper nuts, and a whole bunch of sulfur related stuff. So if I were to plan this out, let's actually move this stuff up to here. Just so I can see how this is going to look. Sweep all that up. So if I do this in a relatively easier way, how does the bristle blossoms do on temperature? 5 to 30. We can probably put a liquid lock to try and keep some of the temperature in here. I think that's what we should do. Don't know why they haven't built this yet. Oh, they're just waiting for dirt. Okay, so if we keep the theme going, we go up. We're gonna have to go up 3 tiles. This would be the bottom floor, so let's continue it over. We actually don't need that bottom floor. I pause for a second. We would need a place for air to get up through here. So if I take a look at spindly grub fruits, they take sulfur, which is a debris, not a liquid. So we make all of that out of this. We're gonna need... There's gonna have to be a room. No, I have this wrong. So we're gonna need a grooming station. We're gonna need a drop-off. And then we place in all of this. Which again is made out of these. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's actually move it over 1 more tile so that we can put a thing for food to get dropped off at. I'm gonna make that an airflow tile. Then we have 10 more. 3, 6, 9, 10. So then that means this can be an airflow tile. And then, like I said, we really don't need this anymore because that was just for temperature regulation. And I'm thinking we're going to put the door to get in here right here. And by door, I mean a liquid lock. Which is going to be made out of oil, I guess. So let's build that in. Oh, we don't have enough room. Everything is 1 tile too far to the left. Because we... Oh wait, no, we would need a double liquid lock so that we don't get the heat temperature in here. We're gonna have to put this liquid lock somewhere else other than right there. So this actually isn't gonna be a door. We're gonna need to continue this ladder system going up further. Why is there salt water filling out here? I don't know, but now we are using both of this. Oh, we're getting the geyser stuff. So this should be getting cooled very much. 30, 35. Where is it getting that hot water? Because this is all 20. But you come out at 30. Oh, that's polluted water. Geyser, please. Yeah, it does come out at 30 degrees. Okay, so that's not going to get much colder than it already is. Awesome. And then that polluted water will never flash over here because it's not going to be sitting there long enough. They did take care of all this, so let's just block this in now. And then that's hydrogen taken care of, which will come back to us in about 28 cycles. Let's do the final prediction. We have 500 points in clothing. We have 1,100 points in buildings, 50 points in decorations, and 30 points in wallpaper. And it is clothing again. We have had 3 clothings in a row. So who was the lucky person that chose clothing 3 times in a row? Was there anyone that did 3 times in a row? It was Regus. Congratulations, Regus, on always winning this day. So that definitely is Regus. Alright, chat, I think we have hit the point where I can officially say we are in the mid-game. At this point, our water situation is taken care of. We just need to make sure that we have power to run all these aqua tuners. And as long as we can do that, we have cooled down salt water to use. Now we do need better production here, and that's down to the fact that we don't have the hydrogen generator going. So our next system might want to be a dirty brick for a natural gas geyser. New option if Regus will win. What are they focusing on without me telling them to do so? Igneous rock stuff. Okay, that's fine. I actually did most of it already. Let's tell them to focus on this conveyor system so that we can get the bomb lilies without them to come down here. I'll do that, and I'll do this. I'll do it 1 layer at a time so that they don't get stuck. Let's check on Ellie. Ellie is not even halfway there to her second, or her fourth point. Said every number but the right number. And there shouldn't be any more steam up here. That is just too much debris in one tile that got hot. How is the carbon dioxide? It is right there. Okay, so let's build that in and this, and we can deconstruct that tile because we didn't even use it. We are starting to get steel production again. We still haven't gotten any ceramic. Disabled by automation grid. That would explain it. I have this backwards. We have been waiting for this for a long time so that we could put the glass thing in. Only to find out that we had the knock gate backwards. It's definitely something I would do. Now, if they were to try and get in here, they would get stuck here, but if they do this ladder, they can climb down. Oh, what's going on here? Body temperature. It may be too hot up here. They can only survive between 35 and 85, and it's too hot? Oh, it's too cold. Oh, but this should warm it up once it's on. 60 degrees, yeah. Alright, we're gonna have to do elimination tactics here. Putting a tile to push all this water over. We're not gonna be able to do that. If I put the tile here, then no one can build it from inside. I'm gonna have to trap someone in here to try and do this. So we're gonna have to... Let's put this on an 8 so that they do this first before the other building stuff. How's the stuff up here doing? We can also queue this up to have the seeds that it's gonna have. Plant that. This is mushrooms. And this is not sleet wheat. How do we know what sleet wheat is? We don't have any greens for it. I guess they have all the seeds in here? Yeah, because we don't have gas grass. Okay. Plant that, bring that over. This is going to need salt water. So let's put in our reservoir. We're going to need liquid bridges over this. You need ethanol, which is going to have to come down from here also. That needs regular water, which we're going to have to bring up here. So I think I should bump all this over by 1 tile for this. We'll have to do that at some point in the future. But for here, we're going to have to figure out some wiggly way of getting 2 pipes upwards. So if I go right here... No, we'll go here instead. I will need a bridge that way. We would also need another bridge this way so that I can go like this. That gets us over the salt water. Next thing we would need is really just 2 more bridges. One this way and one that way. And now I need to make sure that none of this goes into the wrong pipe. Did I win? I was on the phone? You did win 3 times in a row, Regus. Clothing won today. I don't know what else to say. Alright, you know what? I am going to paranoid do a 1 on that so that they don't build that anytime soon. Well, that's my luck for the next 12 months. Alright, trying to see if anyone's going to come down here and build this, because I'm going to have to move them. That's being made out of granite? Don't know why, but okay. Still haven't done that yet. We do have a regular pod, so let's do that as well. Ooh! Another clothing item. Who's gonna get it? Are there any named dupes that do not have it? It's Yelp. Alright, are you coming down here to build this? Yes, you are. Can you build it from in here? No, I want you to build it from in here. No, I want you to build Amy. There you go. Now you're stuck in there. Build that tile, please. You have that's not igneous rock. I forgot. We're pushing the water over. Build that tile, then you can get out. Actually, can you mop that first? Deconstruct that. I don't think we have enough igneous rock inside there, so we're gonna have to deconstruct this as well. That now has said that this has enough oil. And then we're gonna have to replace this so that it doesn't transfer heat between the two liquids. Alright, congrats Gino for catching a teddy bear. Now we can just kill those. We don't need any critters from outside except for pups. Are they not able to get over here? They aren't. Okay, that'll be deconstructed at some point. Oh, there's some cobalt sitting here. If I do that and this, they might be able to get to that. Or recover some stuff that we need. There is a pip outside the ranch. Sorry, Pip, but you don't survive out here. We do have quite a bit of steel. Let's queue up 10 more aluminum. Okay, and this is pretty much not working anymore. So I think we just take this all down. Put in the ladders that are missing from there. And call it quits on that. But I do have this cobalt stuff to do. If we're lucky, this won't put water over here. It did a little bit up top. We can actually mop that. That's fine. Because that'll get the little bit of water from atop the oil. So this is all done. We just need to put in the conveyor rails. And as you can see here, the polluted water is backing up. Now we should still be having the bathroom water leaving first. So even if this gets backed up, we'll still go off of this before the other pipe. Actually, it's an infinite water storage, so we won't ever back up on this pipe. So never mind. Alright, how did you get so far into here, Mima? I am surprised. I am waiting for them to get everything they can reach before I tell them to prioritize doing these pipes so I can get them moved around. Are you doing all 4 or just 2 of them? Oh, you did all of them, nice. So that's almost ready to get picked up. I'm actually going to just queue it up to being all. And we're gonna have to come down here. Oh, seed is already chosen. Okay. And that barely filled this entire thing. Alright, next thing I want them to prioritize are the bridges. Alright, yep, they built that first, so we need to cut it off here. And there now. This is being cut off there. And there. That's empty. This is also empty. That has salt water. That should have salt water. There should not be two liquids mixed in here. I think it would already be mixed in if there was. Just do temporary pipes for right now. This isn't temporary. That's going to actually connect in like that. Over here, we should probably do some pipes to get out of there. Oh, this goes over to here and then down. Now this is still going to need a bottle of some liquid. Is this salt water? That's ethanol. Let's actually use the brine that we've had for ages. We're gonna relocate that to here. And that is the alarm for us to find someone to raid out to, so let's figure out what we're going to queue up to be done before we leave. Let's queue this up. And queue that to be deconstructed. Now, if this wasn't overheated, this would still be the same amount as up here. Actually, is it the exact same amount? 14 compared to 15, right? Yep. So that would be the same amount as over here. And now that they have the ladder, we can actually block this in all the way up to there. And now we get to see where some of this stuff is going to go. This is the food going into our base. We're going to need to figure out how we're going to do our conveyor rails. This is phosphorite for... what is it called? I'm forgetting. For the pitcher pepper nuts. We can cancel this because we just built that in. That seems like a lot for something. The bristle blossoms. Hey, paintbrush. What are you doing? Hi. Did I wake you up or did you just wake up? What you doing? Okay. Before I get any more distracted, I'm gonna let them build that if they feel like it. Is there anything that needs to be high prioritized? Oh, they almost finished all this. That's awesome. Good job, Marie. I honestly don't think they need to high prioritize anything. This ladder's not needed right away because I can get up and over. Over here, we could prioritize the pipes getting built so that we can get some polluted water in here. Or not polluted water, salt water. If I just do all of that, they should build their way upwards. I also want them to do this tile so that we can get the brine in here and also open it up. While we're waiting, do another mass sweep to make sure that that's all taken care of. And if we're waiting and the diggers have nothing to do, come dig this out. How are our suits doing, by the way? We're having a bit of trouble filling up all of these, but that's because people are going in and out very quickly. So it's not an issue on us not being able to fill them up. So we have too many things being switched out. This will eventually get filled in. This one pump is doing enough for all of these. That's because our first 5 are the ones that get used the most. So if I really wanted to get us out of this, I could turn off the door and not allow anyone out of here for a little bit. That is bleachstone being off-gassed in here. How is the temperature up top? Temperature up top is still relatively hot. I do still think it could be down to the fact that this is touching outside air, which is hot. How are they doing on doing all this? They are somewhat prioritizing the belts. I don't know why Meemaw did that one tile and then came out here. Meemaw, you have a weird way of doing things. We do have 13 steel, so let's do the aqua tuner up here. I need to know where the power is. We'll build that in. We'll queue it up to be made. And I need to know where all of these are going to be going. What you doing? Paintbrush got back on my lap. Hi, pretty girl. You gonna lay down on my arm? Hi. There you go. She's laying on my right arm, but putting her head on my left hand. So I have a bit of an issue here. Bring this all the way over, and we'll just bridge it down. Oh, that was placed in the wrong spot. They're now attacking the... Oh, how do I rotate with one hand? I can't. They're attacking the pinch rows out here. Or at least trying to. Alright, that's all of those. I put them in first so I can see where all this needs to go. I do right, left, right. Or I could go this way. I think we'll do it that way. These are still gonna have to be there. This can go to here. And all the aluminum in the world. And then this is the only place that needs bridges. So one this way, one that way. And then that's it for that. Nope, we need one more bridge. Right there. That'll give us a tiny amount of power through this area. Okay, Jet, so, also to show the liquid storage working, we now have one gas on the vent, so it is not going to overpressurize because the liquid cannot take that space. And that means that this is going to always assume that it has more room, which means this is going to continue filling with liquid. Right now, it's already at 1,000 kilograms, so that's 1 ton in each tile. I'm pretty sure at that point, it's already too big. And this is coming together very quickly. We are very close to this area up here. That does concern me a little bit. But then again, at some point this is going to be opened up into the whole asteroid. So we'll worry about that as we get through all this. So what we're going to do is we're going to save and call it quits here. And on Wednesday, we'll do more food stuff. We'll try and finish this as well. And then figure out what we're going to do next. We're probably going to have to make a small rocket to go over to our other planet. How did you... Sophie, how did you get trapped over here? How long were you there for? Sophie, can you wake up, please? So you can save yourself. What's she doing? Sophie. There you go. How many calories do you have? Oh, you had enough for 2 more cycles to live there. But you are very stressed, that's what the face is for. So we're gonna stay right here and make sure that we mop up the pea water that she's gonna place down. Oh, it's slowly expanding, okay. I was about to say, that's not a lot. There it goes. And that's Ellie, who doesn't have a big speed boost. And now with that portion, they shouldn't be standing here in any liquids anymore. Alright, one more regular pod. We'll take the ice. Now, I don't really have a good spot for ice, but I can place it into here. I do have that on picking up everything. Let's sweep that up. Why isn't this being done here? Probably because I need to queue it up to be swept. So if I do that, then the conveyor roll starts working. Apparently it won't do the other stuff. Cancel that sweep. Cancel this. It says there's 2 things there. Never mind, they moved the ice. And that'll warm up this area, or cool down this area while warming up the ice, and then the ice is going to expand in here. It'll take some time taking the water out. They almost finished this. They have all the steel in there. So we are ready to save. I'm going to wait for the autosave of the next cycle, and then I'm going to do a hard save. We're just waiting for a couple more minutes. Paintbrush is so adorable, chat. I think when I do the upgrade to all of our stuff here for our stream setup, I'll get a camera that can like zoom out and see most of my room so that you guys can see the kittens at all times. Alright, that's the autosave. Here's our hard save. We'll get to a spot where we can take the screenshot. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to catch me live, I stream on Twitch on Wednesdays and Fridays from 10 AM EST to 12:30 PM EST, and on Sundays from 10 AM EST to 2 PM EST.